खुदा में रज़वी हो।
All praise is due to Almighty Allah. Darud and salams upon the most perfect, exalted and glorified of Allah's creation, Sayyiduna wa Mawlana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. His blessings and salutations upon the Anbiya Ikram, Ahl Bayt Athhar, Sahaba Ikram, Khulafa Rashidin, Tabi'in, Tabi' Tabi'in, A'immah Mujtahideen, Awliya Kamilin, and all those who will follow the path until the last day. We thank Almighty Allah through His infinite mercy and through the wasil of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for blessing us with the opportunity to congregate and to sit together this evening to remember him and his beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. After praise and salutations, Hazrat Maulana Atikur Rahman Sahib, Shaykh Afthab Al-Qaadiri, my respected brothers in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm not going to take too much of your time. मैं आपके ज़्यादा वक्त नहीं लूँगा क्योंकि ख़त्म क़ादरिया शरीफ वग़ैरह मैं बैठ के आप लोगों ने खूब फयूज़ और बरक़ात हासिल की। बस तबरुकन में कुछ बातें आपकी खिदमत में पेश करूँगा। I will present a very brief discussion in front of you and based on the topic that was chosen for discussion today, आज के जो उन्वान, and I will try my best to explain a very important and a very pertinent topic that has to do with the current situation in the world. Now, before I do that, I want all of you to join me and go on a short journey. Before I start saying anything else, I want you all to join me on a very short journey. And if you close your eyes, you will be able to stand here and do this journey. Let's close our eyes and journey towards the most beautiful place in the universe. Towards the court of all courts. Towards that court under which green dome lies the greatest of Allah's creation. Let us journey to the court of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our hearts and in our minds and in our thoughts, and visualize yourself standing in the sacred and the noble and the holy court of Sayyiduna Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And while doing so, let us all together recite Durud Pak. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyina Maulana Muhammadin wa ala Sayyidina Maulana Muhammadin salatan daimatan maqbulatan tu'addi biha anna haqqahu al-azim. वो जो न थे तो कुछ न था, वो जो न थे तो कुछ न था, वो जो न हो तो कुछ न हो, वो जो न थे तो कुछ न था, वो जो न हो तो कुछ न हो, जान है वो जहान की, जान है तो जहान है. When he was not, there was nothing. वो जो न थे तो कुछ न था. When he was not, there was nothing. When the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam fidaka abi wa ummi was not, there was no Jibreel, there was no Mikail, there was no Israfil, there was no Israel alayhi salatu wassalam, there was no Arsh, there was no Kursi, there were no skies, there was no earth, there were no trees, there were no birds, there was nothing, there was no sun, there was no moon. Why? Because wo jo na the to kuch na tha. When he was not, there was nothing. There was nothing. Or wo jo na ho, to kuch na ho. And if he is not, there is nothing. Jaan hai wo jahan. Kalamul Imam, Imamul Kalam. Mujaddid Deen o Millat. Parwana-e Sham-e Risalat. Imam-e Ishq o Muhabbat. Shah Imam Ahmad Raza Khan, Fazil Barelvi radiallahu anhu, that Imam of the Ahl Sunnat, that Imam of the Ahl Sunnat, who said that Jano dil hosh o khirat sab to Madine pahunche. That Imam whose heart, whose soul, whose senses, whose thoughts had all journeyed to Medina while his physical body was still in Bareli. He says, Jano dil hosh o khirat sab to Madine pahunche. Are tum nahi chalte raza, sara kuch saman. That Imam of the Ahl Sunnat, whose sadqa it is, उन्हीं का सदका है कि आज हम अपने आप को अहले सुन्नत वल जमात कहलाते हैं. It is his sadqa that today we stand in our masajid and we say Mustafa Jane Rahmat pe lakho salam. It is his sadqa that today when we go to the graves of our parents, then we put flowers onto their graves. It is his sadqa that today we go to the mazar of Sarkar Khaja Garibul Nawaz and we put chadar on his mazar. It is his sadqa that today we stand at the graves of our parents and we call out the azan. It is his sadqa that today we are those who call ourselves Ghulaman Mustafa. This is the sadqa of Ala Hazrat Imam Ahmad radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And that Imam says, that Imam, that Mujaddid, that personality who is the mu'jiza of the mu'jizat of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wo farmate hai, what does he say? He says that Imam Ahl Sunnat radiyallahu anhu says, wo jo na the to kuch na tha. When he was not, there was nothing. Or wo jo na ho to kuch na ho. And if he is not, there is nothing. जान है वो जहान की, जान है वो जहान की. The soul he is of the universe. जान है वो जहान की, the soul he is of the universe. जान है तो जहान है. If the soul is existing, then the universe is existing. Without that, there is nothing. The beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, without him, there is nothing. I started this discussion with this share of Ala Hazrat. असल में जब तक आला हज़रत का नाम ना ले काम नहीं बनेगा. Until we did say, कुछ लोग कहते हैं ना कि ये क्या मामला है कि रज़ा 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 रज़ा. What is this? Everywhere आला हज़रत आला हज़रत आला हज़रत. मेरे अजीज, मेरे रफीक, मेरे शफीक हज़रत अल्लामा मौलाना मुफ्ती आरिफ बरकाती साहब, ये एक शेर याद आ गई. इसके जवाब में कि अपने ख्वाजा से मुंह न मोड़ेंगे, अपने ख्वाजा से मुंह न मोड़ेंगे, दामन गौस हम न छोड़ेंगे. अपने ख्वाजा से मुंह न मोड़ेंगे, दामन गौस हम न छोड़ेंगे. जलने वाले जले मगर हम तो रिश्ता अहमद रजा से. This is our system. This is our way of life. And I started with this couplet of Ala Hazrat Azimul Barkat radiyallahu anhu to explain something. The topic on the poster is Palestine. Palestine. How connected are we? That's the topic, right? Or close to that. It is a current affair of the world right now. I've kept this here, my phone, and I asked for this, so I can read you some statistics. At the moment, in Palestine, at the moment, and you all know the statistics. क्या हो रहा है, क्या नहीं हो रहा, कितने लोग शहीद किए गए, कितने बच्चों को बेदर्दी से शहीद किया गया. ये सब, this you know. But I'm going to read you the statistics for today. And then I'm going to take this discussion a little bit in a different direction. Today's statistics, the death toll in Palestine since this zulm started is 28,775 deaths. 28,775. I want you to think about this, because I'm going to take this in a different direction. 28,000, I'm reading for you the statistics. 28,775 dead. 68,552 injured since October 7th. Of this, 43% are children. How many percent? 43% are children. Approximately 12,300 are children. From this roughly 22,000. 12,000 children have been made shaheed, have been killed, those Muslim children. With that is another huge amount of women. And why is all this happening? This is where we want to go today. Where is all this happening? And it would have been, it's a very long discussion, but I'm going to make it very short for you to all understand. Allah Almighty is the protector of His deen. And nothing happens without the will of Allah. A leaf will not fall from the tree without the hukm of Allah. One zarra cannot move an atom without the will of Allah. Everything is by the will of Allah. And Allah tests His servants with different tests in their lives. And one of the tests is what the Palestinian people are going through. What the people of Palestine are going through is one of the tests. Now let me tell you, and you may just think, what is this topic about? Why did I start with that share of Allah? I'll tell you just now. Think about it for a moment. That we are saying that from 7th of October they are going through this difficult time. But history will tell you that this is happening for the last 75 years. 75 साल से यही हो रहा है. ये 75 साल वाली बात नहीं है. This 75 years is the apparent. This is the direction I want to go in today. You will say, Palestine, how connected are we? When I say connected, I'm not talking about the media. I'm not talking about how much of information the media is giving you. Because half of that media is Yahud. I'm not telling you and asking you and I about how connected you are based on the information. Yes, I read you the statistics, so I remind myself and I remind you. But this is not about 75 years. If you want to understand all of this, you must go back very far. You must go back. Today I'm going to give myself a short history lesson. I'm not telling you, probably you know it better than me. So I'm giving myself a short history lesson, and you can listen to me. Let's go back very far back. You must remember before we even go in this direction, why they are fighting for this land. Why do they want it? There are numerous reasons. But why is Palestine? Why is Palestine? Why is Baitul Maqdis so connected and so attached to the Muslims? And why is the Muslim Ummah so attached to this Mubarak Sarzameen? This is where we need to start off. And when you go there, you will remember that Palestine is not Palestine just because of the Muslims that have been killed. It is not because from the 7th of October, more than 12,000 children have been killed without reason. It is not because thousands of houses have been bombed. It is not because of this only. This is one thing. This goes back far beyond. You know this Mubarak Sarzameen? When I asked, or the topic said, Palestine, how connected are you? It actually meant Baitul Maqdis. How connected are you to this Muqaddas Sarzameen? How connected are you? You and I need to go back in history. And we need to understand that this is our first Qibla. In the apparent sense, in the Zahiri sense. This is our first Qibla. This is that Mubarak Sarzameen where Allah sent thousands of Anbiya Ikram alayhi salatu wassalam. This is that Mubarak land which is known as the land of Wahi, where revelation descended in abundance upon all those Anbiya Ikram alayhi salatu wassalam that came there. This is that land. This is the same land which you heard Hafiz Yusuf recite in Salatul Isha today. Subhanalladhi asra بِعَبْدِهِ لَيْلًا مِنَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ إِلَى الْمَسْجِدِ الْأَقْصَى. This is that same land, this is that very same land that we're talking about, which was the special transit point. Which was the special transit point. बिला तशबीह, बिला तमसील, समझने के लिए. आप यहाँ से गए, या मैं समझूं कि आप यहाँ से कहाँ फ्लाइट जाती है आजकल मुझे इल्म नहीं, मगर मैं डरबन से अगर गया हूं बरेली शरीफ, इंडिया, समझ रहे? अब मैं खुश रहता हूं कि यहाँ बरेली कहता तो सब लोग मुस्कुराते हैं. यही होनी चाहिए. और मैं शायद इस मेंबर पे 17 साल की बात कर रहा हूं. उस जमाने में भी यही देखा करता था कि बरेली सुन के लोग मुस्कुराते थे. अल्लाह ताला ऐसे ही रखे, अल्लाह ऐसे ही रखे. बदमज़हबों की शर से अल्लाह महफूज फरमाए. और खास करके ये जो सुल्ला कुल्लियत है, यह जहर है, जहर कातिल है जो कौम को तबाह कर रही है. लेट्स से समझाने के लिए, इफ आई went from Durban to India, to Delhi, or to Bombay, to go to Bareli Sharif, or to Ajmer Sharif, or to Kalyar Sharif, I have to fly Emirates. That's the easiest route for me. And my transit point between Durban and Delhi or Bombay, wherever I'm flying to, the transit point is Dubai. Not a healthy transit point, but a transit point. That is my journey. Anywhere you go, you will have a transit point or a direct flight or a transit point usually between one place to the other in the middle. But the airways that you are traveling on, the transit for it will be its headquarters, will be its base at that time. That is where it will take you for a transit. If you are flying Emirates, it will not take you to Qatar. It will take you to Dubai. If you are flying Qatar Airways, it will take you to Qatar. If you are flying Etihad, it will take you to its base. Wherever you are flying, it will take you to that transit point. It will not take you anywhere else. When Allah chose to take His Nabi to the heights of the heavens, when Allah chose to take His most beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the heights of the heavens, then Almighty Allah sent a heavenly Buraq. He sent a heavenly Buraq. And to call the Nabi into the skies, He made that Mubarak Zameen the transit point for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where the Nabi journeyed from Masjidul Haram to Masjid Aqsa, which is the Isra, and from there he went into the heights of the heavens, where there is no where there is no there. There the Nabi went, but he went from Masjidul Aqsa. So how connected should you and I be to that Zameen? Today it is being said that don't give importance to all of this. इस पे ज़्यादा और फिक्र ना किया करें. इस पे नहीं करोगे तो किस पे करोगे? If you don't give ghaur or fikr to this, to what will you pay attention? This is that Mubarak place. So this is where our connection comes in. This is that Mubarak place to which the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to by the hukum of Allah. Allah mentions it in the Quran, where He transited from there into the skies. And we transit because we need a connection. We transit because we need a connection. The Nabi did not transit because he needed a connection. The Nabi did not transit through Masjidul Aqsa because he needed a connection. All the Anbiya that were waiting there were waiting for their wasila and the connection with Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, fidaka abi wa ummi. And the Nabi journeyed into the heights of the heavens. I'm not going to go into that discussion and topic. But you and I know the fazilat of this zameen, the barakat of this zameen. And if you want to further understand this, then you have to go back to 8 Hijri. You have to go back to the year 8 Hijri. And you have to look at the Battle of Muta. You have to look at the Battle of Muta. Go back to 8 Hijri. And the reason I'm saying this, कहने का वजह यह है कि आप समझे कि ये 75 साल वाले मामला नहीं है. 75 years is ज़ाहिरी. अगर मैं वक्त से ज्यादा निकल जाऊं तो मुझे रोक दीजिए. आपको रोकने की इजाजत है. आई एम बीइंग ब्रीफ, मुख्तसर ही बोलूंगा. टॉपिक तो बहुत डिटेल है. You got to go back to 8 Hijri Zamana Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the Battle of Mota. When the beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent one of his envoys, Noori Akram, Noori Mujassam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent Hazrat Haris bin Umar Azdi. He sent him with a letter. Rasul Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent him with a dawat. And this dawat was for the leader of Busra. Now here Busra or Basra is not the one that is in Baghdad. It is the one that is in Sham. So he was sent, the envoy was sent by Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ko rawana kiya. What with the dawat of Islam to the leader of that place. When that envoy of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was on this journey to go to Basra, he passed by a place called Mota. He passed by a place called, and give you some history. He passed by a place called Mota. And when he passed by this place, then the Hakim, I'm not going in detail, in brief. The Hakim of that time was connected to and affiliated to Herakl, the Heraclius, the Christian king of that time. He was connected to him. When he heard that there is a man here that is passing by और इसकी चेहरा अजनबी है, हमने कभी इस आदमी को देखा नहीं. We don't recognize him. We have not seen this envoy. He is not from our community. So they stopped him. उनको रोका. मुख्तसर बता. उनको रोका. They stopped him. And they said to him, who are you? What are you doing here? Where are you going? He said, I have come from Muhammadur Rasulullah Sallallahu Ta'ala Alayhi Wasallam. I've come from Allah's Nabi. And I'm a qasid. I'm an envoy. And I'm carrying the message of Islam to the leader of Basra. When they heard this, they said that this is very dangerous. If he goes passing here giving messages to all the kings of the different places, they will all accept Islam. They will accept the message of Muhammadur Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So what should we do? What should we do? They thought, okay, let's stop this here. And how do you stop it? They made him shaheed. They made him, look at where this started, not 75 years before. Look where it started. You think, what has this to do with Palestine? I'm going to tell you just now. They made him shaheed. When he was made shaheed, and this news came to Madinatul Munawwara, to the court of the beloved Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the beloved Nabi Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam, at that time, Haqara Kareem, Noori Mujassam, Surur Kalbusina, Tajdar Madina, Fakhri Mawjudat, Hazrat Ahmad Mustafa, Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what did he do? Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent out an army of 3,000 men. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent out an army of 3,000 men. And I'm giving you this history for a reason. बहुत जल्द में मुकम्मल कर दूंगा. और जो ना हो पाए आज तो कल. 3,000 men. He sent them with 3,000 men. Who sent them? Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because the envoy was killed. Because किसी कासिद को उस ज़माने में भी मारना गलत और इस ज़माने में भी मारना गलत. You cannot kill a qasid because he is the envoy of an empire, of a government. And he was the envoy of the greatest Imam and the greatest Nabi and the greatest Rasul of Allah. So he was killed. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent an army of 3,000 soldiers under the command and under the authority of Sayyidina Zayd ibn Haritha radiallahu ta'ala. They went. Now, about this battle, let me tell you something. आप सुन चुके होंगे, मैं दोहराता हूँ. This is that same battle of Mota, where Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he sent the Sahaba, when he sent Hazrat Sayyidina Zayd ibn Haritha radiallahu anhu towards Mota, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, मैं इस लश्कर के अमीर Zayd ibn Harith को बना रहा हूँ. I'm making the commander of this army, Zayd ibn Haritha. अब गौर कीजिए. रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाhu अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाते कि मैं ज़ैद इब्न हारिसा को इसका सिपा सालार, इसकी अमीर बना के भेज रहा हूँ, इसकी कमांडर. When they went for the battle of Mota. And Rasul Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam then says that if Zayd becomes shaheed, I'm giving the flag in the hand of Zayd. अगर Zayd shaheed हो जाए, if Zayd becomes shaheed, then Ja'far bin Abi Talib will take over the flag bearing. He will take over as the commander. And Rasulullah Maqbool sallallahu alayhi wa sallam then said that if Ja'far ibn Abi Talib gets shaheed, then one of the sanakhas of the court of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Rasulullah Pak sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, if Ja'far gets shaheed, then make Abdullah ibn Rawaha the leader, radiyallahu anhu. Make Abdullah ibn Rawaha the commander. And the Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that if Abdullah ibn Rawaha becomes shaheed, wo shaheed ho jaye, if he becomes shaheed, then whoever the Muslims make the leader will be the leader. This battle, these Sahaba Ikram under the command of Hazrat Sayyidina Zayd ibn Haritha radiallahu ta'ala, they went to Muta. And when they got there, jab wahan pahunche, ulama Ikram aapko batayenge, they are here. When they got to Muta, how many Sahaba Rasul Pak sent? कितने को भेजा? 3000 को ना. मैं इसलिए पूछ रहा हूं ताकि समझ लो कि सुन रहे हैं. और जोरदार तकरीर और वो जोश वाली तो होती रहती है. यहां थोड़ा हिस्ट्री समझाना है. 3000, ताकि आप जहन नशीन कर लो, ये सिर्फ 75 साल पहले की बात नहीं है, ये तो हिस्टोरिक है. 3000 सहाबा और नसरानियों की तरफ से, फ्रॉम द कुफार साइड, कितने आए थे? 1,00,000. 100,000 army against 3,000 Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is that jang, and that आप बार ulama से सुन चुके होंगे. This is the same jang of Mu'ta. This is the same battle of Mu'ta. That when 3,000 Sahaba went against 100,000, and when they came face to face, और देखा 3,000 ने कि वहां 1,00,000 दुश्मन मौजूद है, घोड़े पे, ऊंटों पे, और उनके पास बेहतरीन जो है वेपन्स और ये सब चीजें मौजूद है, असलहे मौजूद है, तो उस वक्त एट दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम, टेल मी, मैं एक सवाल कर रहा हूं कि हम लोग 3,000 हो, हम लोग 3,000 हो और हमारे साथ में 1,00,000 हो, आप क्या करोगे? इस जमाने में, मैं उस जमाने की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. आजकल चाहे हम लोग 100 हो और उधर 10 है, तब भी हालत खराब हो जा रही है. वजह क्या है? क्यों लोगों की ईमान डगमगा रही? 3,000, अल्लाहु अकबर, और उधर 1,00,000. ज़ैद इब्न हारिसा रज़ियल्लाहु ने इसे पीछे नहीं देखा, आगे देखा. Why? क्योंकि हमें अल्लाह के रसूल ने भेजा है. Allah's beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam had sent us. Hazrat Zayd ibn Haritha radiallahu ta'ala goes forward. And when this battle starts, this battle is happening in Muta. And the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ye Muta mein jang ho raha hai. और आका करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम मस्जिद नबवी शरीफ में जलवा फरमा है. The beloved Nabi is in Masjid Nabawi and he is in the jurmat of his Sahaba Ikram, and it is the moon without comparison amongst the galaxy of the stars. They are sitting in the court of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Rasul Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that Zayd ibn Haritha has taken the flag. Ab Zayd shaheed ho gaye. Where is the Nabi? Medina. Where is the battle? Muta. मदीने में उस जमाने में वाईफाई सिस्टम, एनी अदर न्यू मॉडर्न सिस्टम जिस पे हम लोग फख्र करते हैं आज. टुडे वी आर प्राउड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. When the word Wi-Fi wasn't dreamt of, my Nabi was sitting in Madinatul Munawwara and he was seeing what was happening in Muta. He said, Zayd ibn Haritha has taken the flag, Zayd has become shaheed. Then कुछ देर बाद हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाते हैं कि जाफर बिन अबी तालिब ने अपने हाथ में रम लिया है. जाफर इब्न अबी तालिब, I'm telling you this because of history. Jaafar ibn Abi Talib has taken the flag of Islam in his hand, and then Huzur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam puts his Mubarak head down और आंखों से आंसू टपकने लगते. रसूल पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, this is that Nabi जिनके आंखों से आंसू टपक रहे. This is that Nabi, my beloved brothers. ये वो अल्लाह के नबी है कि हम लोगों की वजह से कितने आंसू टपके उस मुबारक, उनकी मुबारक आंखों से. This is that beloved Nabi concerning whom आला हजरत इमाम अहले सुन्नत, आला हजरत इमाम अहले सुन्नत रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु said कि अल्लाह क्या जहन्नम अब भी न सर्द होगा, अल्लाह क्या जहन्नम अब भी न सर्द होगा. अरे रो रो के मुस्तफा ने दरिया बहा दिए. That नबी की आंखों से आंसू टपक रहे. He says, Zayd ibn Haritha has been made shaheed. Then he says that Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, the big brother of Hazrat Mawla Ali radiallahu anhu, who later became known as Ja'far al-Tayyar, because his arms were cut off in this battle. And he was seen flying with the wings of the Malaika. Allah gave him wings. Ja'far al-Tayyar. So the Nabi says, Ja'far ibn Abi Talib has taken the flag of wo shaheed ho gaye. The battle goes on. And the beloved Nabi says, now the flag is in the hand of Abdullah ibn Rawaha. Now the flag is in the hand of Abdullah ibn Rawaha. And after a little while, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, ab wo bhi shaheed ho gaye. He too has been martyred. And then the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, the flag is now in the hand of a sword from amongst the swords of Allah. The flag is in the hand of that sayf, is from that Mubarak personality who is from the swords of Allah. This is the first time that these words came from the Mubarak Zuban of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that kya hua ke Zayd ibn Harith took the flag, shaheed ho gaye. Ja'far ibn Abi Talib took the flag, shaheed ho gaye. Abdullah ibn Rawaha took the flag, shaheed ho gaye. Now the flag is in the hand of a sword from amongst the swords of Allah. Or what will happen? Allah will give victory on his hand. Unke haathon pe 1,00,000 ke khilaf 3,000 ne kamyabi hasil. And who was that? Hazrat Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu anhu. From that day on, he became known as Saifullah. Mustafa ki zuban se nikal jaye to ho jaye. Immediately he became known as Saifullah Khalid bin Walid. Hazrat Sayyidina, this was the battle that continued. I am being brief. Bilkul mukhtasar bayan kar raha hu. Iske baad, this happened then. In 9 Hijri was the battle of Tabuk. In 9 Hijri was the battle of Tabuk. And ye wahi jang hai, jisme Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq ne apne puri dawlat कुर्बान कर. ये वही जंग है जिसके बारे में कहा जाता है कि हजरत अबू बकर तशरीफ लाए तो मेरे आका ने पूछा, कहे अबू बकर, पहले पूछा हजरत उमर से ना, कहे उमर कितने ले आए? हुजूर ने ऐलान किया, कितने माल ले आए? हाउ मच वेल्थ डिड यू ब्रिंग ओ उमर? क्योंकि उमर फारूक पहले से तय करके आ रहे थे कि आज मेरे पास काफी दौलत है, टुडे आई हैव इनफ, आज मैं सबकत ले जाऊंगा अबू बकर के साथ. वो संगत करते हैं दौलत के मामले में नहीं, बिल्डिंग्स और मैंशंस के मामले में नहीं, अल्लाह के रसूल की रज़ा हासिल करना, to gain the pleasure of the heart of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fidat abi wa ummi. He says that he comes in the court of Rasulullah. Abi Umar kuch bole nahi the. This is the same battle of Tabuk. Umar Farooq didn't say anything. Umar Farooq radiallahu anh comes in the court of the Nabi, and the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sarwar Alam sallallahu alaihi wasallam, says to Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala, Umar, how much you left, how much you brought? Subhanallah. Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh says, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, half for my family and half for the pleasure of Allah, for the deen of Allah. Aadha ghar ke liye, aadha half Allah ke liye. Hazrat Abu Bakr aate hain, Subhanallah, Siddiq, Hazrat Sayyiduna wa Maulana Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, Abu Bakr, kitne laaye ho, kitne chhode? How much did you bring? How much did you bring? मुख्तसर बता रहा हूँ ताकि आपको याद रहे कि ये वाक़या तबूक है. How much did you bring? How much did you leave? या Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, सब आपके बारगाह में आया. Ya Rasulullah, I brought all your court. क्या मोहब्बत, what love, what ishq, what जज्बा. आज कोई मस्जिद में किसी को कह दे कि एक बल्ब डाल दो, हाँ कुछ जगहों पे अच्छी बात है, हो जाती, मगर अक्सर जगहों पे नहीं होती. कोई ये कहे कि ये काम कर दीजिए अल्लाह के घर के लिए, तो शायद वो आदमी 2 रोज के लिए गायब न हो जाए, मगर ये दरबार रसूल है. This is the court of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and these are the Sahaba Ikram. The Nabi is asking, oh Abu Bakr, what have you brought? He says, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I have brought everything in your Mubarak Qadminaz. Abu Bakr, you brought everything for Allah's deen. What did you leave at home? परवाना को चिराग, परवाने को चिराग है बुलबुल को फूल बस, परवाने को चिराग है बुलबुल को फूल बस, सिद्दीक के लिए है खुदा का रसूल बस. He said, I have left Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But this happened, I'm just telling you this, reminding you, Iman taza karne ke liye, and so that you know it happened in the Battle of Tabuk, which happened in the year 9 Hijri, after the Battle of Mu'tah, in between whatever happened there. But in that battle, ek baat mein arz kar do, that Rasul Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Umar Farooq he made intention, kisi ko bola nahi. He made intention, he didn't say anybody. When the Sahaba Ikram came, why did Rasul Pak not ask any other Sahabi? हुजूर ने क्यों किसी और सहाबी से यह सवाल नहीं किया कि आप कितने लाए, आप कितने छोड़े? उमर को क्यों पूछा? क्योंकि उमर इरादा करके निकले मुस्तफा को सब इल्म था. That is why he asked him. That is why he asked Abu Bakr. And Hazrat Umar Farooq, what did he say? He said, after that मैं कभी अबू बकर से सबकत लेने की मैंने कोशिश भी नहीं की. I never ever tried it again. मुख्तसर. Now ये दो जंग हुए जो नसरानियों ने मुसलमानों के खिलाफ की. फिर उसके बाद एक तीसरी जंग. There was a third battle. And for that battle, Rasul Akram, Noori Mujassam, Surur Al-Qusina sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, appointed Hazrat Sayyidina Uthama ibn Zayd radiallahu anhu on the 12th of Rabiul Awwal in the year 11 Hijri. 12th of Rabiul Awwal, 11 Hijri is the same day that Aqil Alam Noori Mujassam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam journeyed from this dunya. It was the same day that Rasul Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam left this physical world side in the apparent sense. That day Rasul Pak ne Hazrat Sayyidina Uthama ibn Zayd ko rawana farmaya. And when Hazrat Uthama ibn Zayd went on this battle, you must understand that after the beloved Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made parda and he left this physical world apparently, and everything was done, everybody said to Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, that we need to call Uthama back. Because Nasraniyon ko ab malum ho jayega, they will know that the Muslims are weak at the moment. Their Nabi has left the dunya. They are in gham, they are in taklif. To wo Madine pe hamla kar lege. They'll attack Medina. And Osama has gone with a huge army. Osama has gone with a huge army. So it was said that call Osama back. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu's jawab. What did he say? The world has heard this bar aap sun chuke. Unhone kaha ki jis fauj ko, that army which has been sent by Sarwat Alam sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr usko kabhi wapas nahi kar sakta. Abu Bakr can't do it. Now what has all this to do with Palestine? Let me tell you. मैं अभी बिल्कुल काट के बता रहा हूँ, बीच वाली सब बातें काट रहा हूँ. Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh sent an army, and Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anh also sent an army towards Sham. 9,000 soldiers. No Hazrat. He sent an army towards Sham, 9,000. And he said to them, Jab aap Sham ki taraf jaye, when you go in this direction, then do not take the road of Muta. You take the road of Ila. Don't go to Muta, go to Ila. But where did he send them to? They said Sham. Sham was very big in those days. Where did he send those 9,000 soldiers to? He sent them to Palestine. He sent them to Palestine. After the wisal of the beloved Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, इस फौज को नसरानियों के खिलाफ हजरत अबू बकर ने भेजा, क्योंकि वो मुसलमानों पे जुल्म ढा रहे थे दुनिया पे और इन द एंटायर वर्ल्ड. बिल्कुल जुल्म कर रहे थे लोगों पे. ये जुल्म करना उस जमाने के लोगों की आदत थी, नसरानियों और यहूदियों की. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent an army of 9,000, and they went and they fought. And if you look at the books, and if you look at Hazrat Sayyidina Imam al-Waqidhi's radiallahu anhu's discussions, and you will find that when they went, they fought there and became known as Jang Philistine, the Battle of Philistine. Let's go brief. Hazrat Abu Bakr said they fought, they conquered there, whatever they did whatever they need to do till a certain level. Ek had tak. They returned. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu ka visal hua. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu leaves the dunya. Other battles happen, the battle of Yarmouk, etc., etc., etc. Rasul Akram Noori Mujassam sallallahu alaihi wasallam's beloved Siddiq Akbar radiallahu anhu passes away. Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu comes into the power of Khilafah, and Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu make fauj base there. And he sends many armies. He sends many armies, and he sends them under the command of Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Ubaidah radiallahu ta'ala. He sends them under the command of Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anhu. And Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anhu went to Sham. He fought the battles over there. वहां जंग करने के बाद जब सब खत्म हो गया, जो करना था कर चुके, कम से कम 1 महीना वहां ठहरे रहे. They remained there for about 1 month. After remaining there for 1 month in Sham, in Syria, then Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Ubaidah, and I said I'm being brief now to end. He went, Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anh, Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu called all his soldiers. He called the entire force, सबको बिठाया और कहने लगे कि देखिए अब यहां से हम आगे जाएंगे तो आगे जाने के लिए कहां जाए फतह करने के लिए, यहां से कहां जाए? Where should we go? Should we go to Caesarea or Caesarea as it is known? Should we go to Caesarea or should we go to Baitul Maqdis? कहां जाए फतह करने के लिए? उस जमाने उमर फारूक की जमाने की बात है. Where should we go to make fatah? All the companions हुए और हजरत सैयदना जितने हजरत सुबहान अल्लाह उमर फारूक के साथ थे वो सब सोचने लगे और शायद हजरत मुआज़ इब्न जबल रदियल्लाहु अन्हु में शामिल थे उस वक्त, शायद मेरे याददाश्त अगर सही हो, या जो भी सहाबी थे उस वक्त मौजूद. उन्होंने कहा था, हे अबू उबैदा, ओ अबू उबैदा, इंस्टेड ऑफ आस्किंग अस, एक कासिद को उमर फारूक की दरबार में भेजता हूं. सेंड ए कासिद टू उमर फारूक और देखो कि उमर क्या फैसला करते. See what Umar Farooq says. From there, Hazrat Sayyiduna Abu Ubaidah radiallahu anh sent a qasid in the court of Umar Farooq radiallahu anh. वहां जब पहुंचे, जितने दिन लगे वहां पहुंचे, पहुंचने के बाद हजरत सैयदना अबू उबैदा रदियल्लाहु अन्हु की वो जो लेटर था, वो जो खत था, वो जो ऑर्डर के लिए जो भेजा गया था, उनकी बारगाह में पेश किया उमर की. हजरत उमर रदियल्लाहु अन्हु ने इसको देखा और सहाबा इकराम को जमा किया. He gathered the सहाबा और सबको पढ़ के सुनाया. After he read it to everybody, Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu anh said that, oh Sahaba of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, kahan bheje Abu Ubaidah ko? Should we send Abu Ubaidah to Baitul Maqdis or should we send him to Caesarea? Where should we send him? Immediately Hazrat Ali radiallahu anh khare ho gaye. Hazrat Maula Ali radiallahu anh Sher Khuda, Fatah Khaybar, he stood up, khare ho gaye और फरमाया कि ए उमर फारूक रदियल्लाहु ताला anh, मेरी ये मशवरा है कि उनको कहे अबू उबैदा को हुक्म दे कि वो बैतुल मक़दिस को फतह करने के लिए जाए, कैसारिया ना जाए. फरमाया हजरत उमर ने कि व्हाट इज द रीजन? ही सेड टू हजरत उमर, ओ उमर, उमर सेड, ओ Ali Murtaza, what is the reason that I should send the army of Abu Ubaidah to Baitul Maqdis and not to Haria? Hazrat Sayyidina Mawla Ali radiallahu anh said, मैंने रसूल पाक से सुना. I heard and taking you back. How connected are you to Palestine? Let me show you. He went, and when he said this, that send them to Palestine, or send them to Baitul Maqdis, not to Caesarea now, Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq said, why to Baitul Maqdis? Hazrat Sayyiduna Ali Murtaza radiallahu anh says, I heard Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam say कि पहले बैतुल मक़दिस जो है, first बैतुल मक़दिस फतह होगा, उसके बाद कैसारिया फतह होगा. अभी ये बात नहीं हुई, हुजूर ने उसी वक्त कह दिया था that the first place to be conquered will be बैतुल मक़दिस. बैतुल मक़दिस दुश्मनान इस्लाम से छीनी जाएगी, मुसलमान कामयाब होगा. हुजूर की बात उस वक्त के लिए भी है और आज के लिए भी है. बैतुल मक़दिस मैं बार बार ये कह चुका कि यह जमीन मुसलमानों की है, Zionists के बैकयार्ड नहीं है. It's not the backyard of the Zionists, because my Nabi said it then. Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu sent him. He sent a letter. He sent a qasid कि जाओ अबू उबैदा से कहो कि जाइए बैतुल मक़दिस की तरफ. Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu went towards Baitul Maqdis, and when Abu Ubaidah radiallahu ta'ala, the qasid went to Abu Ubaidah radiallahu, and when he came to Abu Ubaidah radiallahu, he gave the letter of Umar Farooq, and inshallah Razvi, in 5 to 7 minutes I will finish. He went to Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu to Hazrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu and gave the letter of Hazrat Umar Farooq. Umar Farooq ने उसको खोला, पढ़ा, सब तमाम फौजी के सामने. He read the letter to all of them and he said, बैतुल मक़दस की तरफ जाने के लिए तैयारी कर लो. उमर फारूक ने कह दिया, अली मुर्तजा ने इसके साथ दिए. अब जो लोग कहते हैं कि उमर अली में दुश्मनी थी, आप देखिए मोहब्बत की अलामत. आप देखिए कि हजरत सैयदना उमर रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु कर वही रहे जो मौला अली रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु फरमा रहे. ये मोहब्बत है सहाबा इकराम में. कभी किसी सहाबी के बारे में गलत ख्याल ना रखे, चाहे अबू बकर सिद्दीक हो, उमर फारूक हो, उस्मान गनी हो, अली मुर्तजा हो या हजरत सैयदना अमीर मुआविया रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु. बिल्कुल जरा बराबर किसी सहाबी के बारे में गलत ख्याल ना करे, तबाह हो जाओगे, बर्बाद हो जाओगे. So he went. हजरत अबू उबैदा रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु now goes to बैतुल मक़दिस. वहां जाते हैं. And on the 11th day of the battle, which became known as the Jang Baitul Maqdis, the Battle of Baitul Maqdis, ये आपका कनेक्शन है पैलेस्टाइन से। They got there on the 11th day. हजरत सैयदना उमर फारूक रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु envoy हजरत अबू उबैदा went to the gates of Jerusalem, बैतुल मक़दिस के गेट पे, और वहां जो उनकी सबसे बड़ी पादरी थे, मुख्तसर बताना, वो उसकी दीवार की, उसकी जो फोर्ट है, किला है, उसके ऊपर आए और आके, क्योंकि उनको बुलाया गया कि उनको बुलाओ जो आपका हेड है, तो हजरत अबू उबैदा को भेजा गया। वो आए, उन्होंने उनको देखा, बस देखा, उतर के चले गए और अपने बाकी ईसाइयों को कहने लगे कि ये नहीं है, दिस इज नॉट द वन। कहने की क्या मतलब ये नहीं है, ये जो है फतह नहीं कर पाएंगे, he will not be able to conquer बैतुल मक़दिस, don't worry। हज़रत अबू उबैदा वापस जाते, साहबा इकराम ने रोदिन से अबू उबैदा व्हाट हैपेंड, he said I don't know, he just came, he saw me, देखा, कहा ये नहीं है, चले गए। वो लड़ाई चलती रही। he had, हज़रत अबू उबैदा had बैतुल मक़दिस जेरूसलम under siege for 4 to 6 months, अलग अलग रिवायत है। Then one day he again was called, call your leader, he went, he says अरे ये तो वही है जो पहले आए थे, ये नहीं है। हज़रत अबू उबैदा ने फरमाते, हज़रत उबैदा रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु, ओके टेल मी कि वो कौन है, इतना तो बताइए कि वो कौन है जिसके बारे में आप बोल रहे कि ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है। उन्होंने कहा वो जिसके बारे में हमारी किताबों में लिखी गई, जिसका नाम उमर है और जिसका लक़ब फारूक आज़म है, ये फतह होगा तो उसी के हाथ पे फतह होगा, बैतुल मक़दस फतह होगा तो उसी के हाथ पे फतह होगा। हजरत अबू उबैदा जो है फूलने लगे, he started to smile, जोश में आ गए, फरमाने लगे अभी ठहरो ठहरो, वो तो मैं नहीं हूं मगर हमारा अमीर तो वही है, हजरत उमर फारूक रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु। he goes and he sends a qasid to उमर फारूक। हजरत उमर फारूक मुख्तसर leaves मदीनतुल मुनव्वरा, he comes to बैतुल मक़दिस। और जब हजरत अबू से ने ये दो बातें खास बताने का है, जब हजरत उमर फारूक वहां तशरीफ लाए अपने साथियों के साथ, when he came there, when he came to बैतुल मक़दिस, उस वक्त जो है सब सहाबा इकराम जो उनके साथ थे वो मौजूद थे, सब बसफ थे, हजरत उमर की इस्तिकबाल कर रहे थे। मगर उस वक्त जो है नमाज का वक्त था, और जब नमाज का वक्त था तो हजरत अबू उमर फारूक इधर देखे उधर देखे कि कोई आजान दे, और वहां देखा तो हजरत उमर फारूक ने देखा, व्हाट डज ही सी, कि नबी की बिलाल भी वहां मौजूद है। तो बिलाल ऑफ रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम जो हुजूर के दुनिया से तशरीफ ले जाने के बाद जाहिरी तौर पे मुल्क शाम जा चुके, when he got to मुल्क शाम he stayed there, मगर जब उनको खबर मिली कि बैतुल मक़दिस उमर फारूक आ रहे हैं तो वो भी बैतुल मक़दिस आए। when he came to बैतुल मक़दिस, उमर फारूक looks at him, आंखों में आंसू आ गए। he looks at बिलाल, he says बिलाल अजान पुकारो, बिलाल अजान पुकारो, कौल द अजान। बिलाल हबशी खड़े हो जाते, किबला रुख होते हैं, and he puts his hands in his ears, on his fingers and his ears, picks up his hands, Allahu Akbar, and he calls the takbir। जैसे तकबीर उनकी जुबान से निकलती है, सहाबा इकराम की दिलों की कैफियत बदल जाती है। सहाबा इकराम एक दूसरे को देखने लगे, रसूल पाक की जमाना याद आने लगा, रसूल पाक की बारगाह याद आने लगी। They started to think of that time of रसूल पाक, अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मद रसूलुल्लाह। When they reached there, सहाबा इकराम were looking from all sides, आंखों से आंसू जारी थे। हजरत उमर फारूक रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु की दाढ़ी मुबारक से आंसू टपक रहे थे। याद आ रहा था कि वो जमाना कैसा था, वो वक्त कैसा था जब रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की जुर्मत हम लोग बैठे थे। He was thinking of that zamana of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was thinking कि या रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, टुडे, आज बिलाल जो यहाँ के बैतुल मक़दिस में अजान दे रहे और आपकी उम्र जो यहाँ पहुंचे, या रसूलुल्लाह इसकी ये दलील यही है कि या रसूलुल्लाह आप हमारे साथ हैं, या रसूलुल्लाह यू आर विद अस। क्योंकि वो जो न थे तो कुछ न था, वो जो न थे तो कुछ न था, वो जो ना हो तो कुछ ना हो, जान है जहान की, जान है तो जहान है। The Sahaba knew, they understood that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is with them, and that is when Hazrat Umar Farooq went forward and brief में मुख्तसर में जब फिलिस्तीन की, जब बैतुल मक़दिस की, जब उस वक्त जो जेरूसलम की उस पादरी ने हजरत उमर को देखा और उनके चेहरे को देखा तो उनकी आंखों से आंसू टपकने लगे। अपने ईसाइयों से कहते, अपने नसरानियों से कि लाल शाबी गिव द कीज टू द सिटी, और हजरत उमर फारूक के हाथों में उन्होंने दे दिया। उन्होंने फरमाया इन्हीं के बारे में लिखा हुआ। मेरे अजीजों, सोचो तो जरा, हाउ फार बैक डज दिस बैटल go? How far back does this history go when it comes to our connection to Palestine, when it comes to our connection to Baitul Maqdis, when it comes to our connection to Jerusalem? So we should understand this is a very historic place for the Muslim Ummah. It holds great eminence. It holds great importance. This is that place where Sayyidina Umar Farooq went and he made his success there. And he stood there for the sake of the deen of Allah. Victory was given at his hands. However, zamane ke baad jo hua, hua. Magar us zamane mein Allah ke ek mehboob bande hai. One beloved servant of Allah again woke up. That servant of Allah, वो बंदे थे जब बचपना में, जब बच्चे थे, उनके वालिद ले गए थे उनको, आज खत्म कादरिया हुई थी, उनके वालिद ले गए उनको हजरत गौसे पाक रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु की बारगाह में. His father took him in the court of Sarkar Gauze Pak and said, "Oh Sheikh Abdul Qadir, make dua for my this child." Sarkar Gauze Pak radiallahu anhu, make dua for him, put his hand on his gardan, put his hand on his body, and he made dua for him, and made dua for his kamyabi, and for his victory, and to serve Islam while he was a child. और फिर फतह करने वाला वही बच्चा बड़ा बन के सलाउद्दीन अय्यूबी रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु. He became Salahuddin Ayyubi. That Salahuddin conquered Palestine and Baitul Maqdis because of the hand of Sarkar Gauze Azam. So this is the connection of the Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. This is the connection of the Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. I have gone very long today. बहुत ही लंबी बात हो गई. अल्लाह ताला वक्त में बरकत अता फरमाए. मुझसे जो खताएं हुई अल्लाह मुझसे माफ फरमाए, दरगुजर फरमाए, और बोलने या समझाने में कोई भी खता हुई अल्लाह माफ फरमाए. And in this discussion, I know I've taken probably 15 or 20 minutes more of your time. अल्लाह आपके वक्त में बरकत अता फरमाए. मैं सोचा आज कुछ हिस्ट्री आपको सुना दूं. तो हमारे नौजवान, our youngsters, when they say Palestine, 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 it's not only because of the 12,300 children. It is not only because of the war that is happening. It is not because of the oppression for 75 years. It is because that is our first Qibla. It is that the transit point for the beloved Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It is the place where Hazrat Sayyidina Bilal Habshi stood in the presence of Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq and gave azan. And let me tell you, time does not permit. Ho sakta kal samjha do. It is the place where Hazrat Sayyidina Afthab Ahbar radiyallahu anh accepted the deen of Allah and His Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam at that particular spot. Kal inshallah, Allah ne chaha to kal raat Muiz bhai ki ghar pe usko bayan karunga. Allah तौफीक खैर अता फरमाए. अल्लाह हम तमाम को मज़हब मुअज़्ज़म, मज़हब अहले सुन्नत मसलक आला पर कायम दायम रखो. आखिरी ये बात अर्ज़ कर दूं कि कुछ भी हो जाए, no matter what happens, मसलक आला हज़रत से ज़र्रा बराबर मत हटना. Don't move one zarra barabar from मसलक आला हज़रत. I know Medina Masjid has always been on this and proudly still on this. Or those youngsters or others who you know go somewhere else, this side, that side, उनको कहो यहाँ आओ. Come here, this is Sunni Masjid. Come to Sunni Madrasa. Shaykh Imtiaz is teaching there. चला रहे मस्जिद की तरफ से. Doing this, you are protecting the iman of your children. You are protecting the deen of your children. Look, अगर हम ये नहीं करेंगे मेरे अजीज, आपके मरने के बाद आपकी कब्र पे फातिहा करने वाला कोई नहीं होगा. There will be nobody to say your name after you die. There will be nobody to make this Khatm Qadriya that you were making. Today you are doing all of this is the sadaqah of Ala Hazrat Barakat. And in this zamana, the two great personalities who have taught us how to love Ala Hazrat and have kept us firm on Ala Hazrat's maslak is Huzur Sayyidi Sarkar Taj Sharia radiyallahu anhu, Huzur Sayyidi Sarkar Muhaddis Kabir, and today Huzur Qaid, all our mashayikh of the Ahl Sunnah. But through their barakat and their blessing, hold them tight. Hold them tight. You will be successful here and you will be successful in the hereafter. And जब भी कोई आपको बहकाने की कोशिश करे, when anybody tries to mislead you, दिल पे हाथ रख के कह देना कि जिंदगी ये नहीं है किसी के लिए, जिंदगी है नबी के लिए. ना समझ मरते हैं जिंदगी के लिए, अरे जीना मरना है सब कुछ नबी के लिए. वमालिल बलाग. अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि.